Okay, so before the seventh seal is open, there's going to be a gathering of 144,000 sanctified high priests that will be the missionaries that will go out and, or the earthly angels, because there'll be earthly angels and there will be heavenly angels that will go out to gather the righteous out from among the wicked and to tie up the wicked into bundles so they can be burned, and gather the righteous into the barns. Okay, and I mean this is where it all begins, right? And well, anyway, so I'm going to leave it at that. Because it talks a little bit more about those guys. All right. So then we come to chapter 8. So, sometime after this meeting of the 144,000 sanctified high priests, okay, shortly thereafter, or immediately thereafter, or at the meeting thereafter, the seventh seal is going to be opened. Now, when the seventh seal is open, and this is still a future event, the first sign that will be given, and when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in the heaven for the space of half an hour. Now, what does that mean? Well, if at any other time in history, nobody would have known what that meant. But guess what? We, in this day and age, can understand what that meant. What it means is that there's going to be an electromagnetic pulse that's going to go out from the sun, and it's going to knock out our satellite communication in the heavens. The heavens are going to be silenced for about a half an hour. Whoa. Okay, for about a half an hour, all of the satellite communication on the earth is going to be knocked out. Well, not just the satellite communication, but a lot of the electrical stuff on the earth is going to be knocked out. There's going to be power outages on the earth, more than just silence in the heaven for about half an hour. Okay, but for a half an hour, can you imagine the calamity that's going to cause to have the satellites all of a sudden go silent? Can you imagine what kind of thing? There's going to be people committing suicide because of this. There is going to be financial wealth that's going to be lost. A lot of financial information is going to be lost. There's going to be financial empires that are going to fall for a half an hour of having the satellite communication on the earth suddenly cut off. Okay, there's going to be airplanes crashing. There's going to be a lot of people in a lot of trouble during that half an hour. Okay. All right. So that's the first sign. When that happens, you better know that the next few signs are going to happen pretty quickly after that. Okay. And so then after that, then there were 7 angels, and they came, and they're going to sound trumpets. And there's going to be a catastrophe that's going to happen on the earth because of the angel that's going to sound. And the first angel sounded, and there was followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of the trees was burned up, and all green grass was green grass was burnt up. Okay, so there's going to be a meteor, hailstorm, fire, and blood means that death will fall upon a lot of people. And okay, and it says that a third part of the trees are burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. Okay, so can you imagine, the third part of the tree and all the green grass was burnt up. So can you imagine this hailstorm that's going to destroy the crops of the earth? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the aftermath of what's going to happen with the third part? It says all green grass. So, all your harvests and all your fields are going to be burned up because of the meteor showers that's going to follow this electromagnetic pulse. Okay? And famine. We're talking famine here. If the crops of the earth are burned up, there's not going to be any food for anybody to eat for a little while. Okay? And so, there's going to be a lot of people starving, a lot of people that are in big trouble, right? Okay. So then the second angel sounds, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. Okay, so a burning mountain, a mountain that's burning, falling from the sky. Well, what are we talking about? We're talking about an asteroid, right? Asteroids have hit this Earth before. There's going to be a great big another asteroid that's going to hit. And it says the third part of the sea, and the third part of the sea is the Pacific Ocean. Okay, it's going to fall into the Pacific Ocean. And do you realize the tsunami that's going to create all along the western, or not the western, all around the Pacific Rim? It's been prophesied that the islands would disappear. Well, that would definitely destroy all the islands. That would definitely destroy Hawaii and Japan and the Philippines and the Micronesian islands and all of the islands will be underwater. That's it. They're done. Okay, and all of the Pacific Rim. Okay, I've seen a map one time of people that have seen visions of the future, what the United States, for example, is going to look like when this tsunami hits. And the whole West Coast will be gone, and the interior basin, where Nevada is, and Arizona and Nevada is going to be filled up with water. And, the Sierra Nevada is going to end up being islands. All right, and the new Pacific coast will be on the shore, on the slopes of the Rocky Mountains, western slopes of the Rocky Mountains, So this is going to be pretty bad. Well, at the same time that's happening, it's going to reverberate on the other side. And I heard recently about an earthquake that's going to cause an earthquake along the East Coast, and there goes your East Coast. There goes your New York, Boston, and Buffalo, and Washington, D.C., and the whole eastern seaboard. Florida is going to be gone, and all up and down the coast is going to be gone. It's going to be underwater. Cuba and the islands on that side, and then, all of the islands. And even Great Britain is going to be in danger because of the earthquake that's going to happen and the tsunami that's going to roll across the Atlantic. And it's just not good. A lot of people are going to drown. A lot of people are going to die. People that are living in Central America, the Central America is going to be wiped out. And I tell that because a lot of my friends are from Central America, and I tell them, I say, bring your families up here, Of course, but then we got people in our government that don't want them to come up here. But I'm telling them, hey, forget about what our government says. Bring your people up here. They're going to be gone. That's too bad. Okay. Okay, so that was the second, the second event, second destruction that's going to happen. Then we come to the third, and third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of the water. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Okay, this is some kind of an atomic device that's going to fall on Rome. It's going to fall on Rome. And because of the fallout, it's going to make the lakes and the rivers